Welcome back to Tomb Runners. This is your host, Mr. Roy now. I'm back from Guatemala, and I want to let people know, Guatemala has a lot to offer. Not for everybody, but I think for a lot of people, a lot of my short kings, they should check out Guatemala. Guatemala. Most of the men are about 5'5", 5'6". Most of the women are probably like 4'11". There are some tall people. There are some people who are, but there's a lot of people. It's just a country with a lot of people that are a little bit shorter than the average American. So I think a lot of my, short kings, instead of going all the way to Asia, they can head down to Guatemala. Now, Guatemala is not the Dominican Republic, not Colombia. They do have, there are good-looking women there, there are cute women there, but it's not that abundant. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to be, but I think for some guys would be a better place to find a wife, someone to, have kids, and it's affordable. It's actually cheaper than Mexico. So, you can do a lot of things there with a little bit of money. The money that I took, I brought half the money back that I took with me because it wasn't a need for that kind of money. And depending on what you do, but you can do a lot of things. You can find a hotel room for probably $70 or less. A decent, 3-star, hotel. You can, there are, $20 hotels. You can, I didn't go to none of them, but they are there. You can see on the website, there are hostels. So you can go there. There's clubs and nightclubs. And like I said, there are, there's cute women there. There's some good looking women. It's not so abundant, there's, you have a natural, a lot of natural women, a lot of the women that were, you would say, the original, Guatemalans, that haven't been, they're just the original Guatemalans. You can go over there and see for yourself. You can see pictures. You can check the videos out. I wasn't just putting, my camera on a bunch of women, but, it has something to offer. It's not for everybody. You have clubs, you have everything that you want, but it's not in abundance. It's not like a place like Colombia or a place like the DR or Brazil. But that would be better for a lot of people. A little slower pace. For some guys, it's going to be it could be a right fit. It's not going to be for everybody. But there is some guys that would appreciate that. The people are a lot darker than the people in Mexico. There's a lot of brown people. I mean deep dark brown. Some of them look like light-skinned brothers, or you can see in some of the women look like sisters just coming out of that's in Atlanta. So, you have to check it out for yourself, but just wanted to encourage, some of y'all, let y'all know it's cheap, it's affordable. There's, if a guy's worried about, some guys, some short kings, get a lot of grief over here with some of these women, oh, you're too short. That's a place where you go where you're not going to have that problem. You're going to fit in. A 5'6" guy, you're on the tall side. So, it's just some place to check out. A lot of flights go there. I think I even seen Spirit going there. So, United looks like, American, a lot of different airlines, Copa. So, and it's only, I think it's about a 2-hour flight from Miami. It's probably a 2-hour flight from Texas. So, and it might be someplace to check out. I enjoyed myself. We had a good time. Definitely good for couples. I felt very safe. I didn't feel any problems. Seen some officers with, big machine guns, shotguns. But I mean, we didn't see anything. We haven't heard anything. We've seen a lot of people walking around with cameras, with jewelry, But just like anywhere, don't be too flashy. Don't be too crazy. Don't get too drunk. These are things you got to do when you travel. You got to try to be, safety minded. So you don't want to be too flashy. You don't want to be too, obvious. Always keep your phone, close by you. Always keep a good grip. If you buy the curb, of course, you don't want to just have the phone in your hand over there, hanging out in the street. You want to keep the phone close to you, keep it tight. And, you see something, you keep looking around, keep your eye open. You see trouble, you see something that looks kind of scary, put your phone in your pocket. Prepare yourself, look around, be aware of your surroundings wherever you go. But just wanted to give you a little short perspective on Guatemala. And, there's 3 or 4 places you can go in Guatemala. Guatemala City, there's Antigua. I think it's I'm forgetting the name right now, but I'll put it in the description. There's some other beach towns, and transportation. A 2-hour drive, or something like maybe $40. We had a driver take us to the market, in another city, and bring us back. And I think it was he stayed with us the whole day, took us places, and that I think we paid like about maybe $70 or something like that. But you can't even get cheap. You can take a bus to different cities and take the bus back, and you can get a private car. Might be like $30, $40 one way. So I mean, there's things to do, and it's some place that you can, like I say, it's affordable. It's a different, there are different people. There's people, like I say, there are definitely people of color. Definitely people of color. You can see some of the features, of some of the original people that were there in the country. So it's not for everybody, but it's some place to explore. And talk to you later. Peace. Okay, yeah, this is Guatemala City. This is a complex called Paseo Cayalá. It's in a little bit away from, probably about 20 minutes away from Columbia City, from the airport. But it's a nice little development they made over here. It's housing. They got, some of the nice stores and stuff like that. All these like white buildings. So this is what you see at night. This is a little church that they have on the property. It's actually a big church. So yeah, you'll see this, nice little spot. This is where the rich, famous Guatemalans go. In the whole country. It's probably one of the places they go to. Like there's this there like Galleria, the old Galleria, or the in Atlanta. What is it? I think of it right now. But this is a big mall in the city that the people go to. Talk about they having things. They got movies there and stuff like that. So it's just some place to come shop and have little events and different restaurants. So it's just something for you, something for you to go to and do if you're in Guatemala. And like I say, this seems to be a very economical place to visit. Hotels, transportation, food is reasonable. sancocho con de caldo, con uno gallana.